You are not your own worst enemy. When it comes to diet and exercise, you can't possibly fight yourself and win.
So a little while back I did a video on things you can't rely on for your fitness. Your willpower, your memory, a particular narrow approach to diet or exercise. Here's another one for you. There's this thing called the psychosomatic effect. And as far as I understand, I know someone's going to get on YouTube and be like, that's not what psychosomatic means. But all in your head. We think something's happening and it's really not. This is a case a lot with food. If someone believes the food is bad or fattening, if they eat it, they'll swear on a stack of Bibles that they're fatter afterwards. Like, I'm softer, I feel icky, I feel slow, I feel like I'm getting sick and stuff, purely because they've been told that that's what's going to happen. That used to be the case with me when I used to follow all these various fats and stuff. I'd eat a cheeseburger or something afterwards, I'd be like, oh man, how do I undo this? Now I feel like crap and stuff. But once I started to mentally get over those things, I'd eat a cheeseburger and be like, I feel great, I'm fine. Aren't you gonna undo the damage? It's like, no, there's no damage. It was all in my head. And that happens a lot with food. It's interesting though how it can happen with exercise too. Back in Vermont, we used to have 3 of the original Precor ellipticals. We are talking real old school here. And we kept them in the gym, and it was almost a bit of a joke because the resistance module in these things, they used electrical magnetic resistors. Okay, so nothing moved, it was just the magnet would get stronger or weaker on the flywheel. And they hadn't worked in years. Okay, so there was no resistance on any of these things. Now, the console on it did. So when you hit the resistance button up, it still said, you know, level 10, level 12, level 13, and the number would be there, but nothing physically was actually happening in the resistance mechanism. And it was always funny as hell because people would get on and they'd be like, oh man, I jumped up to level 8 today and that just kicked my ass. Or I'd be training someone and like, let's bump that up a little bit more. And we'd go up about 5 notches and they'd start huffing and puffing, their heart rate would go up and stuff. But I knew damn well nothing was happening mechanically. It was all in their head. So we gotta keep in mind this sort of thing. If we think something is happening, we will convince ourselves it is. And that's why we need to question these things. We need to question, is the effect that I'm after really happening? Is this food really causing this to happen? Is this exercise really making this worthwhile? Because if it's not producing the results that you are looking for, then it's not really happening long term. However, it is worth noting that maybe we can even trick ourselves into thinking that something's more effective or less effective than it really is, when it really is something that we should be doing. Just something to think about. Till then, be fit, live free.